Hi everyone and welcome to the Code Dev channel. Today I'm gonna show you a small problem you might encounter when working with JSON in Go. Just imagine you have an API service that you want to implement into your service, and API response looking like this. We have an items property, which is an array of objects. Each object has a name as a string, has a status as an object, or null, or string, or empty array. If it's an object, it contains ID as an integer and name as a string. So let's check what we have in Go to parse it. To parse it, we have three main types. First of all is a response, which contains items field, which is an array of item. Item contain status as item status with a pointer and name as a string. Item status has ID as integer and name as a string. So, what's the problem here? The problem is we expect that status field will be item status struct. But if you take a look in our JSON, we will see that our status can be a string or empty array. And if you run the command to parse the JSON and unmarshal it, we will face an issue. Let me show it. Let's just run our script, go run main.go, main.go, and we will see an error. Cannot unmarshal string into Go struct field, which means that our script tries to take status as a string and convert it to item status struct, and it's failed. To fix it, we need to create our own unmarshal.json method for type item. I already prepared it, so let's uncomment it and check what it's doing. First, we are creating a raw struct with item alias, which is item itself, and we define status as a raw message data. So our other fields of item will be parsed as we expected. So we unmarshal it, and then we can convert it raw status to a string and check our invalid types. It's empty array, or it's a string as a null, or it's a null itself. If so, we just make our status null. If item status contains an object, we will parse it with a JSON unmarshal. And if it's fail, we will return an error. So let's check how it will look in the console right now. Let's clear it and run our go run main.go. You can see that this line show in the console all item status data. First, we have a valid object. It returns an object. For all other, it returns null because we have null here in the second object. In the third object, we have null as a string. And in the last one, we have an empty array. Now, let me go back to my main Go file and explain why we need item alias. We need it because if we will use an item here without item alias and we will try to run the script again, go run main.go, we will face an issue that exceeds our memory. Why is that? This happened because we try to unmarshal the item struct, which has unmarshal.json method. So every time when you call JSON unmarshal row, it goes to this beginning of this method and try to unmarshal it again. So we have a cycle here. That's why we are using item alias. In the end, I want to say, when you're working with a third-party API, you cannot trust the data to be clean and consistent. So by implementing unmarshal.json method, you can control invalid data and make your code more stable. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Bye.